Join Kids Hut family. That is not nice, Tofu. What if your friends find out? They will stop talking to you, won't they?
Oh no! I am so clever, they won't find out ever.
Let me tell you the story of another clever boy called Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer lived with his Aunt Polly and half-brother Sid. He was an extremely clever boy who loved mischief. But Tom also had a very good luck, which always helped him get away with the mischief he did. One day, his Aunt Polly was looking for him. "Tom, Tom, where are you?" She looked everywhere. She looked outside in the yard. Inside in the house and the kitchen. She looked in her room too, but he was nowhere. She went back to his room and called to him. "Tom, stop hiding and come out now." But there was no answer. Suddenly, Aunt Polly saw something move under Tom's bed. She thought it was Tom. She bent down and swiftly pulled the bed cover. A cat that Tom had hidden there sprung out at Aunt Polly. Surprised looking at this, she shouted, "Oh dear! Where did Tom get the cat? Wait till I find that boy!" Just as Aunt Polly was shooing the cat out of the window, she felt someone behind her. It was Tom trying to escape from the room. He had been hiding in the cupboard. Aunt Polly caught him by the collar. "Tom, what were you doing hiding in the cupboard? You ate all the jam, didn't you?"
No, Aunt Polly. I haven't even touched the jam. It must have been Sid.
"Don't you lie to me, young man. I can see the jam all over your face." Tom quickly tried to wipe his face, but it was too late. "Today I am going to beat you with a stick. You have become too mischievous."
Aunt Polly, look behind you.
Aunt Polly turned to see, but there was no one. It was just one of Tom's tricks. And this time he used it to get away from Aunt Polly, because when she turned around again, he wasn't there. "Oh, this boy! One of these days I am going to punish him." Tom was so happy with himself for fooling Aunt Polly again that he decided to take the day off from school. Instead, he went to the river and bathed in it. At lunchtime, he went into a nearby farm, stole fruits from there, and ran out of there with the owner chasing behind him. Just as he was running, he bumped into Sid. Sid saw Tom's wet hair and clothes and the fruits in his hands and understood that Tom hadn't gone to school, but he didn't say anything. When Tom reached home, Aunt Polly was waiting for him and she was angry. Tom understood that Sid had told her everything. "Tom, did you skip school again?"
No, Aunt Polly. Sid is lying.
"How did you know Sid said anything to me?" Well, for once Tom had got himself into trouble. He had no answer for Aunt Polly's question. "Tomorrow is Saturday. You don't have school. You will not go anywhere. Instead, you will whitewash the fence."
The entire fence?
"Yes, the entire fence. That is your punishment." Tom had no choice. He couldn't argue with Aunt Polly. He didn't want to make her angrier, but he was angry too. The fence would take up his whole Saturday. He went into the yard and kicked at the dust. Just then, he saw Sid coming in. He quickly made a mud ball and swung it at him.
Stop! Help, Aunt Polly! Why did you have to tell anything to Aunt Polly?
Tom flung a few more mud balls at Sid and then jumped over the fence and ran away. He knew he was already punished, so nothing worse could happen now. Next morning, when Tom came down for breakfast, he was greeted with a pail of paint and paintbrushes. Aunt Polly had been serious about his punishment. So Tom ate his breakfast and went into the yard to whitewash the fence. Painstakingly, he finished a bit of it. That's when his friend Joe came up to him.
Hey, Tom. Why are you working on a Saturday morning? Working? Who said anything about working? Well, why are you painting the fence then? I am doing it because it is art. Haven't you heard of art, Joe? Well, I have, but I have never done it. Is it fun? Oh, yes, it is. Why else would I do it?
Joe thought about it. It was true. Tom Sawyer would never do anything that wasn't fun. He asked Tom if he could also try it. Tom agreed to let Joe do only a small portion of it in exchange of 3 marbles. Joe thought 3 marbles was too much, but agreed. He wanted to try art. A little while later, their friend Jim came. He saw Tom resting under the tree and Joe painting the fence. He went to Joe.
What are you doing, Joe?
It is art. I paid Tom 3 marbles to let me do it.
3 marbles?
Is it that good? Yes, very good. Jim dashed to Tom immediately and asked if in exchange of his fish book, he too could whitewash the fence. Tom feigned some reluctance, but agreed. And so it went on. Other friends of Tom came and believed that painting the fence was fun. They paid Tom in collector's cards, candies, and even a catapult to get a chance to paint the fence. By noon, the entire fence was painted and Tom was a rich boy. He hid his treasures and went to his aunt.
It's done.
What?
Unbelievable. Let me see.
Aunt Polly took Tom with her to see the fence. Indeed, it was done. And it was done very nicely. How did he do it? Anyway, his punishment is over. Now I will have to let him go. I hope he does not create more mischief. But as always, when Aunt Polly turned around to tell Tom that his punishment was over, he was already gone. The next day was Sunday, and Tom went to Sunday school. When he reached there, he saw a new girl and was smitten by her. He desperately wanted to impress her. He thought of a way he could prove himself better than the other boys. He went to one of the smartest boys in the class. And bought from him all his yellow tickets in exchange of the treasure he had earned from his friends yesterday. The yellow tickets were awarded only to those boys who had learned all the verses of the Bible. Usually, only older boys were able to get the yellow tickets. When you had enough yellow tickets, you could exchange them for a Bible. The minister asked the class,
"Does anyone have enough yellow tickets for a Bible?"
Nobody had so many tickets, except Tom, who raised his hand. Everybody, including the minister, was surprised. Tom was the most naughty boy they knew. How could he have learned all the verses of the Bible? The minister understood this was one of Tom's tricks, and he decided to test him.
"Very well done, Tom. Please come here and collect your Bible."
Also, as is tradition, when you earn your Bible, you get to recite any 3 of your favorite verses from it. Tom was stumped. 3 verses? He didn't even know one. He fumbled. The whole class laughed at him as they understood that mischievous Tom had got into a big soup this time. Do you still think you will never get caught?
Oh no, Tia. I have to go and tell my friends the truth and apologize to them right away. Tia, where are you?
I am here, Tofu. What happened?
Tia, you keep on teaching me new morals through different stories. Today I'll tell you a story that our teacher taught us in class.
Oh, really? I'm so eager to listen to it. The Dog and the Bone. Once upon a time, in the dark alleys of a small village, there lived a dog. He was a stray dog who had to live on anything that he found on the streets, in the bins, or at the mercy of the people who would feed him every now and then. One day, while passing by a butcher's shop, he saw that there was no one to attend the shop. He entered the shop and his eyes popped out when he saw juicy chicken, lamb, pork, and turkey hanging. It was far from his reach, so he went around the cabinets to look for something.
I hope I could find something to eat here.
He went around sniffing and looking for it, and suddenly he saw a juicy big bone. He started drooling and said,
My day is made. This would surely fill up my tummy.
He bounced at it and grabbed it in his mouth. I'll eat this juicy bone in a quiet place where no one else would be able to take it away from me. So the lean dog very happily took the bone and looked for a secluded place. He crossed the village and entered the woods. While he was trying to cross a river, he stopped and looked at his reflection in the river. He was quite surprised at what he saw. He saw his own reflection and thought,
Oh my God, there is another dog with an equally juicy bone. It looks yum too.
I got to have that bone as well. And the moment the greedy dog decided to bark at the other dog, the bone fell in the river.
Oh, what have I done? It was my reflection in the water, and the greed made me lose my bone too.
He went away in sorrow, with surely a lesson to be learned. Wow, Tofu! That surely was a beautiful story. So what do you think is the moral of the story? Being greedy is not good, because a bird in hand is worth 3 in the bush.
$10, $20, $25, $45.
Wow, Tofu! You have saved quite a lot. Let's utilize this money to help someone.
No, Tia, I will not spend this money. I want to become rich.
But Tofu, money has no value till we use it. Come on, let me tell you a story. The Miser and His Gold. Once upon a time, there was a miser. He hated spending gold, so he never used any gold he had. He had dug up a hole and used to bury the gold near the tree in his garden. Every day, he goes near the tree to dig it up. And look at the gold happily.
I am so rich. I own this much gold.
This made him very happy. One day, a passerby saw him digging up. and happened to see the gold hidden by him. Gold under the tree? I should wait till it gets dark. The robber waited till the night time to dig up the gold. He took all the gold buried under the tree. The next day, the miser came back to look at his gold.
Where's my gold? Where is my gold?
The miser dug a big hole where he used to hide his gold. But he couldn't find any gold in the hole.
Who stole my gold?
Listening to the miser crying, all his neighbors came running to his house.
What happened? Why are you upset?
The miser showed them the hole and told them everything about the gold he used to hide under the tree.
Did you ever spend any of your gold?
No, I would only dig it up. Looking at it made me happy.
You never used anything at all? The gold was of no use to you because you had it in the ground. Just look into the hole and think that the gold is still inside it. Then you can be as happy as you were before.
Neighbors started to laugh and left him with the empty hole.
Now I understood it, Tia. I should utilize my money in something good.
Yes, Tofu, because wealth unused might as well not exist.
Good morning, Tofu. Good morning, Tia. Are you all right, Tofu? Yes, but I'm worried about my friend Sam. Who is that? And why are you so worried about him? Sam is new to our school. He joined my class last week. I like him very much. But some other boys have been lying about him, saying that he is not a nice boy. Oh, that's bad. And are you sad because he is your friend? Yes, I want people to see how good Sam is. And I don't know how to make it happen. If Sam is a good person, then I don't think you have anything to worry about, Tofu. I don't understand. Why? Let me explain it to you with the story I know. The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, a young prince wanted to get married. So he went around the world looking for the right princess to marry. Alas, he found none. Something or the other was always amiss in all the princesses he met to be a true princess to his people. One stormy night, after the prince came back home, he and his family were having their dinner. When there was a commotion outside the castle door. The queen went to see what was going on. "What is the matter, guard?"
There is a young girl at the door, Your Highness. She says she is a princess.
Intrigued, the queen went to see the princess. When she got there, she was surprised to see a young girl drenched from head to toe.
Who are you?
"I am a princess. I was passing through when the storm and lightning spooked the horses and they dragged my carriage into slush and mud. My men are still with the carriage trying to repair it. I have walked many miles to reach here." Nobody who looked at the young girl could believe that she could ever be a princess. She didn't look anything like a princess. With her hair disheveled and clothes and shoes full of mud, she looked like a poor peasant girl. "You are welcome to stay here, O princess. My maids will prepare a royal room and arrange for a hot bath and dry clothes for you. Do join us for supper once you feel better. Come on in." "Thank you very much, Your Highness." By the time the queen returned to the dining table to join her family, the prince had been informed about the stranger at the door and the queen's decision.
Mother, do you really believe that she is a princess?
Her appearance betrays her, but her eyes shine with courage, and there is humility and grace in her behavior, just like that of a princess. However, we must wait till tomorrow morning to know whether she is really a princess or not. Saying so, the queen retired from the dinner table and went up to the room that was being prepared for the princess. "Your Highness, the princess is in the bath. We are preparing the bed for her." "Very well. Fetch me 20 of the softest mattresses that the castle has to offer." "Yes, Your Highness." Once the maids had left, the queen took out a pea from her pocket and placed it right in the middle of the princess's bed. When the maids returned with the mattresses, she ordered them to to place them on the top of the pea. That night, the princess slept on her special bed. But she had a sleepless night. She kept tossing and turning all night long. In the morning, she joined the queen for breakfast. How are you, my dear?
I am well, thank you.
But you look so tired. Is something wrong? You must tell me.
Forgive me, Your Highness. I do not wish to sound like an ungrateful guest, but I haven't slept all night. My bed was really soft, but something kept poking me in the back, and I had bruises all over.
The queen smiled happily because she knew that the girl in front of her was a true princess. Only a real princess who has lived all her life in comfort can feel a small pea kept 20 mattresses below her, and only a kind princess would not mention her discomfort unless asked to do so. Son, she is the one you have been looking for. Soon the prince was married to the princess of his dreams, and they happily lived in the kingdom where all the people loved and respected them both a lot.
Wow, Tia! No matter where the princess would have gone, people would have always recognized her because of her behavior.
Exactly, Tofu. And the same thing applies to your friend Sam. If he is a good person, soon people will be able to see that in him. And if he's not, people will be able to see that also.
Yes, you are right, Tia. I don't think I have to worry about him anymore. I am sure everyone will see his truth soon. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.